Hi everyone, in this online tutorial we're going to have a look at creating a Facebook page. Now a Facebook page is slightly different to a Facebook profile, which is what we will all log on to when we go to Facebook, and we can connect with our friends and our family and follow other Facebook pages. But there's a lot more features involved in running a Facebook page. Now in order to create a Facebook page, you have to have in the first place a Facebook profile. So I've got my Facebook profile here, and here is where I would see, this is my timeline where I would see any of the posts from my friends, family, or any of the pages that I'm following. Now, if you don't want to use your own personal profile for testing purposes, what I'd suggest is that you set up a sacrificial Facebook profile. You can just tie it to a Gmail account. It's a good idea to set up a Gmail account or a Google account just as a digital marketer for testing purposes. Then you can use that email address to set up a new Facebook profile. So here we have a Facebook profile, and I want to create a page, a Facebook page. So over on the left hand side here of my profile, down at the bottom there's a create section, and there's an option to create a page. And you can also create one if you go to pages. There'll be an option in there also, but I'm going to go create and page. So on the create page window, it's broken now into just two sections. It used to be a very convoluted process, and you had a lot of options that you could choose from. On the left hand side we can choose a business or a brand. On the right hand side, a community or a public figure. So if you are a business that's selling online, or you actually have a physical location, you're going to choose the option on the left. And if you're a community or a public figure, so if you're a charity, or if you're a teacher or a politician, you're going to choose this side here. So I'm going to create a Facebook page because I want to promote. The whole idea of using social media is to try and drive traffic out onto our website, which we're using as our foundation. I'm going to create a page for a business. I want to use Facebook to drive traffic over onto my website, where I'm hoping that my customers will convert by purchasing one of my products. And you can see here I've got a test website just set up using a test URL, and it's a full WooCommerce e-commerce store which is based on a WordPress website, and I'm selling some retro toys here. So we can imagine that my shop is called Retro Toys, and that is what my Facebook page is going to be, and I'm going to drive people over here, and hopefully they're going to purchase all of these products that I have. So over here I'm going to click Get Started. And there's not a whole lot involved in setting up a Facebook page. I just name my page, so I'm just going to call it Retro Toys. And down here then, the category that I choose will determine the type of information that I'll fill in for this page. So you could, for example, if I just put in toys here, if I choose toy shop, then it's going to assume that I'm a physical location, and it's going to ask me for things like opening times and address. If I just put in a category like games and toys, I won't have to fill in as much detail. So I click continue, and basically my page is set up more or less. Now at this stage I have to create a profile picture. Just note that in their imagery here the profile picture is square, but in the modern Facebook user interface it's a circle. So if you are designing a profile picture for your Facebook page using Canva, for example, just make sure that everything is centered, or that the main detail is centered, because it will actually be a circle and not a square as it is here. For this, I'm not too concerned with creating profile pictures. I just want to show you how to create the page. You can come back later and you can fill in those steps. So I'm just going to skip that step, and the next step then is the cover photo here. Again, you can create a cover photo in Canva if you choose. I'm just going to skip this section because I just want to get straight into my Facebook page. So here's my new Facebook page created. My profile picture is here if I choose, and my cover photo is here. Also note that now you can actually put a video in also as your cover photo. Now you'll notice at the top here we've got a lot more options than we did have when we were just using our normal Facebook profile. So we've got inbox, where we'll see anybody who messages us on using Facebook Messenger, or if they leave a comment on one of our posts asking us a question, you'll find that in inbox. Notifications when people engage with any of our posts. Insights will give us analytical kind of data information about what's happening on our page. Publishing tools will allow us to create posts and schedule posts and videos. Ad Center is a lot more complex when it comes to creating the ads than using, say, for example, the promote button down here. And then also over here on the right hand side, we have settings. Now, if you click into settings and let's say, for example, you want to delete your page, you don't, it's only a test page and you don't want to use it. There's far too many settings here for me to go through now, but you can have a look at these when you're setting your page up yourself, and you can see what each one of these does. Down at the bottom there's an option to remove page, and if you click on remove page there is an option there to permanently delete the page I've just set up called Retro Toys. Also in these settings you have an option here to assign different page roles to people. So if you're in a team of people, for example, there's a couple of people in your business that are working on the social media with you, you can assign different page roles by adding in their email addresses and then choosing from this drop down whether they're an admin where they have full control, all the way down to an analyst which can just look at the Facebook insights. Now the levels that you choose here, the ability of the people to make changes decreases as you drop down. So an admin will have full control. A moderator will just be able to allow or edit or modify posts, for example. Advertiser will be able to create ads, and an analyst can only go in and look at what's happening on your insights. So just to make you aware that there are different, it doesn't have to be a page that's controlled by one person. You can actually add page roles for all of your team, and you can see that I'm set up here as the admin on this page. So again, lots of settings and features that you can have a look at over here, and you can change to suit your Facebook page. Now if I go back to the page itself, I'm an e-commerce store, and I also want to show on my Facebook page that I have those products for sale. At the moment, this Facebook page template is a default template, and if I just drop down and see more here, I've got some options that I can go through over here, but I don't see a shop option. Now if I want to change this template to reflect a shop business, I can go back to settings here, and in templates and tabs I can choose a different template for this page, and down here look, I can choose which tabs I want to show, and you can hold down the left mouse button and pick them up and drag them around to drop them, much like you can do with the menu system in WordPress. But if I want to set up as a shop page, I can choose from the templates here, edit, and then I can scroll down, and that's the standard one: business, venues, non-profit, politicians, services, restaurants, and shopping is the one that I want. So I'm going to view the details on that and apply that template, and when I apply that template then I get a completely different list of tabs over here, one of them being shop, for example. Also on my Facebook page, as we're setting it up, I have the option to add a button, and that button can allow my users to move from my Facebook page across onto my shop, or to make a call to my business, or to book a service, for example. So if I click on add button, I can make a booking, contact, shop with me, download an app, for example. I want to get some traffic over to my shop, so I'm going to drop down here where it says shop with you, and I'm going to choose shop now as the option. So the button will display the word shop now, and if I click next, when a user clicks on it, the following action will happen: a website link or a link to the shop which is on my Facebook page. Now I want to put in a website link because I'm trying to bring people over to my website. So here's my website. I'm just going to copy my URL, my domain name, and when I click the website link, I can then paste in my domain name or my web address, click save and finish, And now when users like or follow my page, they're going to see a Shop Now button. And if I move my mouse over it, one of my options here is to test that button. So I'm going to test that button now to make sure that when it's clicked, the users will be brought to my shop. So there it is. It opens up a tab and it brings them to my shop as expected. One of the final things to set up on our Facebook page then is our page at username, which allows users to find us easily. So I might click in here where it says create page at username, and for Retro Toys then I want to use the username at Retro Toys, and it's probably going to tell me that it's already been used. So at this stage, I'm probably going to have to use some numbers afterwards. And then I can click create username and create that username. Now I'm not going to, because I'm eventually going to delete this page. It's only for demo purposes. So I'm just going to say cancel at this stage, but you could create your username on your actual Facebook page. So now that the page is set up and configured the way we want, and we can imagine that we have our profile picture and cover page, and everything is set up the way it should be, we should go and create some posts, because we're trying to use Facebook here to drive some traffic over to our website. So if I go back to my website here for a second, and we'll notice on my shop I've got this product here is on sale at roughly 30%. So I want to highlight the fact that this product is for sale for 30%. So I'm just going to click into that product on my website, and I'm just going to capture or copy the web address for that product. Back over on my Facebook page, in the create post section, then I'm going to create a post. And here when I start creating my post, I can type in some text, or I can also choose to put in an emoji. So I might just put in an emoji and scroll down through them all. There's lots of different ones that you can use. So I'm going to use the shopping cart. And then I think I saw a robot there as well. Okay, so there's a robot. In there, I'm going to say "30% off today," and you can come up with a lot better copy than that. And then I'm going to just paste in my copied URL, and you'll see what will happen. It will put in here a preview of the image with the link out to my website, and down here I can choose to add more images if I want. Now, a common mistake that people make when they have Facebook pages is they paste in the address like that, and it starts up the preview, and they leave this address in there. Now, there's no point in having the address in there twice. We can actually remove this not very attractive looking web address, get rid of that, and we can use that kind of real estate space there to put in some more copy. Okay, and then we also now have our post set up. Down at the bottom here, I have the option to, if I click this part of the button, it will publish it straight away, or if I drop down the option, I can schedule it. So maybe I want to schedule this post instead of publishing it right now. I want to schedule that post, and I want it to go out tomorrow or Friday at a certain time. So I want it to go out at 3 o'clock on Friday, and then I can schedule that post. So that post is now ready to be posted on Friday at 3 o'clock. Now, the other types of posts that I can put in here, don't just have to type in text here. If I click on photo here, or video, you can see I can upload photos or videos, I can create a photo album, I can build a photo carousel, a slideshow, or an instant experience. Now, you can have a look at some of these yourselves and see what they will do. I think what I want to do is, I have on my website here, if I could just go back to my home page, I've got 3 products at the moment. So there's this one, and this one, and I want to promote each one of them individually. So I'm going to add in here a photo carousel. So I'm going to click photo carousel, and I can put in the URL. So just a URL for my overall page. You'll see later we'll be able to change that for individual pages. So I'll just click on that arrow here just to use that URL. And you'll see what it will do. It will drag in some images from my my website. Now, the image doesn't look great at the moment, but we'll just ignore that. We'll assume that our images have been optimized to fit into these containers here. So I want to add in a second image because I want to go to a second product. So I'm just going to click on my product images section here that I have. So I've got some of my images stored up here. I'm going to click that as my next image, and it will upload that one. And you'll see then the beginning of the photo carousel. And then the third image that I want is this one. And it will add in that image. Now the nice thing about the photo carousel is each one of these links can be used then to send people to a different location. So with the controls here, I can scroll through and I actually have 4. This one is going to bring them to the overall page. And if you scroll back through the other ones, you can see here that this one, for example, allows me to edit the destination URL. So you can remember earlier I put in an overall or a main page URL, but now if I go back to my shop and I click on that product and I copy the address for that product, come back over here, edit the URL, and instead of it pointing to the overall page, I want to send them directly to that product, which is the Hound product. And I click confirm. And now that URL for that picture will go directly for that product. And down here, I can edit this piece of text. Or I can put in whatever copy that will capture an audience and make them click onto that link. And I can do the same then for each of the other products. So if I go back to my website and I click on this product here, I can get the web address for that one. And back over here, I can edit the destination URL for this image. And again, look, it's the overall page URL, but I want to paste in that Optimus Prime product URL. So I confirm that. And again, here on this image, I can choose the copy. And I can do that for all of the other images then that are added to this post up here. Check out a range of Transformers toys, and down here I can rearrange these if I want. So if I wanted the sale item, the Optimus Prime one, it probably will stand out more than just the green product. So if I want this red and blue product to show up first, I can just hold down the left mouse button here on that product and drag it out to the left and drop it in, and that becomes the number 1 product. And you can see then that that product will show up as the number 1 product. Then when I'm happy, I can publish this post. So it will publish it onto my timeline, and then we're hoping that most of the people who follow my page will get to see that product. So you can see it's uploading here. It just takes a second. Here it is as it would appear, and if I was to click on this, it will bring me to the Optimus Prime page. I'm just going to close that tab, and then if I click on the Hound option, it will bring me to the Hound page. So by using that photo carousel, it allows me then, if I'm having a promotion on and I want to highlight individual products on my website, I can then send the Facebook users to particular pages on my website. Another type of post that we can put in, if we go into, again, photo and video here, and we scroll down underneath our photo carousel, we have the option here for a slideshow. Now a slideshow, we might think of something like PowerPoint, but actually the slideshow on a Facebook post, we can create a little mini video using our images, and we can add like a backing track to it then as well. So I'm going to create a slideshow here. You can add up to 10 photos here. So the settings for this slideshow, the aspect ratio original, square, rectangle or vertical. I'm just going to leave mine set to original. You can experiment with these ones yourselves to see what sort of aspect ratio they look. The image duration then, I might make these images just appear for maybe 2 seconds rather than 1 second, is very short. The transition from slide to slide, the slight animation that occurs between moving from one slide to another, I might just set that to fade. I'm going to add in some photos, so I'm going to add in, I'm going to upload my 3 product images. So I'll go with that one, and that one. So I've just selected each one of them. Click on open and it should upload all of those images, and it will start a slideshow for me, and I can do a preview of it. So it plays and it shows an image for a second or for 2 seconds, and then the other images. Now I might just up the duration of those. If you've got 10 images, you might want shorter duration. If you've only got a small amount of images, small number of images, you might want to increase the duration. So I might maybe make it 4 seconds. So each image will appear for 4 seconds. Now at the moment, it just shows images changing from one to the other. We also have the option of music. So I'm going to choose music here. And I can upload my own music if I have some, or I can use some of these presets here from Facebook. Now, you're probably better off to upload your own image. Let's have a look at some of these. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to create that slideshow. And obviously, again, you'll come up with better copy than that, but a video showing our sale items, and there is the video. And again, when you play it, it will play the dance music and go between one picture and the other. Again, I can publish this, and the slideshow publishes, and it will move from one image to the next with that dance music, terrible dance music behind those images. Now, just to show you, before you go and investigate yourselves with the different types of posts that you can have, there is also, when you click and create a post, so this is my new post about whatever it's going to be about, you also have the option here of choosing the Get Messages option. So if I click on Get Messages, it will add to the end of my message, and again you can add in your own photos here, a send message button, so that when this posts, again look, I'm just going to change the photo and I'll just put in something just to have it there. So that image goes in and it's a link to Retro Toys, but with a send message option or button here. So I'll publish this post and we'll give it a second, and here's how this post will now appear. So my post copy, whatever it is, with the image, and if somebody clicks on it here, now I can't click on it because I can't send a message to myself, but this would show up as a blue button. This button here would allow somebody to click and send me a message directly to my Facebook Messenger. So maybe they're asking about prices, or they want to get a discount if they order a certain amount of products, or whatever it is, customer inquiry. You can deal with that message in your page inbox. That's where you'll see it arrive. So that's roughly how to create some posts on your Facebook page. Obviously, there's a lot more posts that you can, and post types, like for example, You can put in here a poll, for example. Polls are a kind of fun, engaging way to generate some engagement. You can add in those, and there's lots of other options here that you can investigate yourself. So on your test page, I'd advise you just create a few posts and click on these buttons and see what they do. It's no harm on this page because it's not actually been followed by anyone just yet, and it's only a Scratchbox page. One of the most important elements of our Facebook page is the ability to view insights and see what our users, what our followers are actually doing on our page. Now with this page, Retro Toys, that we've just created, we're obviously going to have no insights to view because we've just created the page and we've just created a few posts. So it takes 24, 48 hours for any of the post detail to return. So what I've done is I've actually added a real Facebook page for the 086flowers.ae Facebook page. So this is a Facebook page that's in its infancy. You can see down here the sort of short insights that you can see. We have 356 followers, and it tells you what sort of reach, as in the number of people who have seen posts from us this week, and also what the uptake on video views is like. So I've just tied this 086flowers.ie Facebook page to my Facebook profile, which allows me I've set it up as well. I've set the role to be analyst, so I can only go in here and look at the insights. So let's go in and have a look at what is in the Facebook insights for a real Facebook page. Now, the first thing we see when we look at Facebook Insights is gives us this overview page, and it allows us to set the time period as well. So the page summary at the moment is for the last 7 days. I have to admit I haven't really been active on the page, and also we did have the Facebook downtime this week. So if I set it for the last 28 days, you can see a lot more rich information here. You can also export this data and you can download it as a CSV file or as an Excel spreadsheet, and you can do further analysis on it then. But for us today, just to have an intro to what is going on in Facebook Insights, we can see here the actions on the pages. So when people are clicking on pages, the number of times the pages has been viewed, the post reach. So in the last 28 days, we've reached a potential of 14,000 people with the posts, and the number of new likes that we've had or new followers on the page is 65. The engagements then, so we've had 1,426 engagements on all of the posts across the last 28 days. This is the total number of video views and the number of page followers and page likes that we've had over the last month. And you can see that actually it's decreasing a little bit, not the number, but the speed at which people are liking the page, because initially when the page was set up we ran a lot of competitions and we got the 300 odd followers that way, and I'll show you in a second how we got the other followers. The next section in the overview here are any of the promoted posts that we use. Now we know that from SEO knowledge that when you set up a website, it can take anything from 3 to 6 months for Google to pick it up and to start to rank it. So we supplement that by creating some paid advertisements to send some traffic over to that website, and that's what we did here with this 086flowers.ie Facebook page. We created some Facebook sponsored posts to drive some traffic or to just get some extra likes on the page. And you can have a look here at the sort or the type of paid ads that I've created. This one here was just a boosted post. I set up a post which was a special offer, which would tell a person to go across or to click through onto the link that was provided and use a special promo code or a coupon code on the website that would get them 20% off a very specific product, which was roses. Now you can see that I've spent on that €24.27 out of a possible €30, and we reached 3,500 people and got 57 link clicks. And if you do the maths on that, if you divide 24.27 by 57, you can work out that it cost 42 cents per click to get people across for that product. Now the reason I've only spent 27 out of 30 is I actually paused or stopped this promotion or this ad because I didn't think it was performing very well. You can see there 3,500 people and we only got 57 link clicks. Now it could be that it's a very, very specific product and the time of the year that it is, you know, the number of people who are looking specifically for cut roses seems to be very low. So at 42 cents per click, I decided I was going to end and put this one out of its misery. It wasn't really performing that well. The next paid ad that I've got here shows I've just called it website promotion, and I've used some UTM codes there as well. If you're curious about what the UTM codes are, we will cover them at the end of the semester in the last class, but you could just Google UTM codes and it will give you some information. They're basically tracking codes to allow you to track on Google Analytics where the traffic specifically is coming from. So in this case, it's going to be coming from Facebook, and I've given that campaign a name which was website traffic or something like that. So with this one, I have spent my full budget, or close enough to my full budget, of €35. I've let that one run for maybe 7 days, and I have reached 4,655 people, and I got from it 231 people to come across onto the website as traffic. Now in this case, I'm getting 231 people as opposed to the 57 up here because it's just a general traffic going across. So when they get across to the website, they're there to have a look at lots and lots of different products, not just the specific roses that were up here. And again, by working it out, by dividing 231 into 34.99, you can see there that I paid 15 cents per click to bring people across onto the website. So that one wasn't bad. Now, what was really poor, and I probably will never do it again, is to buy page likes. Because I spent, okay, we just put €14 against it, and I reached that amount of people, but it was costing 35 cents per like, and we only got 39 extra likes out of it. We got a lot more likes by just running competitions. And incidentally, when you're running competitions on a Facebook page, make sure that the prize that you're offering is aligned with the product or the services that you also supply. You know, if you're selling flowers here, for example, and your competition is to win tickets for some sort of concert, the people who are liking and sharing on that competition are only people who are interested in getting tickets for the concert. They don't really have any interest in buying cut flowers. At least with our competitions that we were running here, the competition was for the product that we actually sell, or that this business actually sells. So in that case then, there was an alignment. At least we knew that when people were entering the competition, okay, that we're going to be getting cut flowers for free when they won the competition, but at least it showed that they actually wanted cut flowers. So that's just a tip, just to make sure that your competitions, if you're going to run them to create a bit of a page following, that those competition prizes align with the product or the service that you're selling. So in that section then you get to see the what's going on with those paid ads. In the next section we get to see how our posts are doing on Facebook. So it'll show you all of your posts, whether they're text only, image, links, videos. It'll show you the types here, who you're targeting, basically the public in this case, and the reach for each individual post. Using this section, we'll be able to see which posts are performing and which posts are not. We can also change these settings up here when I click on see all posts. We'll have a look at that in a second, but just to finally show you this bottom section here, where you can add up to 5 of your competitors to watch. In this case now, these are florists, traditional florists. This business doesn't serve the public in the same way that these do. This is a DIY market that this business is serving. But it's interesting to see how your close competitors are doing on Facebook. You can see how many page likes they have and what their total engagement is for the week, and I suppose it becomes a little bit of a game to try and have better engagement than your competitors. Okay, coming back up to here, if I go and see all posts, it will essentially bring me to the posts section over here on the left hand side of the menu. And then I get to see all of my posts, and I can see which ones are performing and which posts are not performing. You can see in this case here that this had a huge reach, well, in comparison to the others, I suppose. So you can work down through and you can have a look and you can see what day you posted on and what time. And from that then you can determine when is the best time to post and what type of post does well at those times. Here you can see that it's arranged by reach, and that is how many people will have seen your Facebook post. Reach here, organic versus paid, or you can just set it to overall reach, which will show you every reach combined. Impressions then. Impressions and reach are two different notions. Reach means everybody who has the potential to see it. An impression then is if the same person has seen it maybe twice or 3 times. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that set as reach. Here then is where I can drop down and I can choose just to see the reactions, comments and shares for a piece of engagement. Post hide, so any negative reactions. So there was a negative reaction here to this post. People obviously didn't like that we had set up on Instagram. If I go and see more, I get to see then where there was negative feedback. This time we lost 2 followers here because we ran the same competition twice. And in this case, look, we have a really bitter person who left because we announced the winner of a competition and obviously it wasn't them, so they had no interest in the page anymore. Another interesting setting here or drop down is the overall engagement rate, and if you click on that it gives you a percentage, so you can understand better in terms of percentage which posts are working better. So if we scroll down through here, even though that one had a reach of 940, it only had 2% engagement versus this post here, which got 11% engagement. Because we announced, in this case it was one of the competition winners. The competitions were for a bunch of flowers. The competition winner then took a picture of that bunch of flowers in their own home and sent it and posted it to the page, which I reposted, and people were generally happy to see that and they were commenting on it, well done, congratulations, and they look great. So typically posts with a kind of personal touch or with people in them tend to engage better than posts that don't. Here at the top we get to see when our audience is online then as well. So you can see here, look, there's a spike at 2 o'clock and then it kind of maxes out at about 10 o'clock. So I always find that a good time to post is around here, around kind of between 8 and 9, and then I'll try and post kind of 7:30, 8, 9 type times at night then as well. You can also look at the individual days and it will show you when your audience was online for those days and how many of your total followers were on for those days. Another interesting insight that we can see here at the top are the post types, and this will tell you which of your posts are most popular. Video on Facebook will always do kind of higher reach than photo posts, because video, Facebook has invested heavily in its live video, and then it's trying to encourage video. It's trying to get in competition with the likes of YouTube. So video, if you can, video posts will do well. Okay, let's have a look at some of the other options that we have over here. Then you can have a look through some of these yourselves and see what they are. But one of the most interesting ones here is the people option. And if I go to the people option here, I can see exactly where my followers are from. Okay, so this business is targeting, Ireland as the market. So you can see there Actually, most of the people that follow the page are from Waterford. I need to improve that and spread it out nationally. So probably do a few ads and build some awareness in large population areas, like maybe target the cities like Dublin, Galway, Cork, Limerick, that sort. But interestingly, over here you can see that for this business, it's kind of 80-20 split, that it's the majority of the followers are women, and the biggest area for our followers are 35 to 44. Now, I know if we're trying to target the wedding audience for DIY flowers, for example, you know, the 34 plus or 30 plus is probably where I'm going to go. And target women. It's probably a waste of my money to target men in this case. Speaking of targeting people with an ad, let's go and create an ad. Now for this, I'm going to go back to my Retro Toys page. So here's the Retro Toys page from earlier. Again, still no user profile or cover photo, but that's fine. So again, I'm going to use my shop. My WithDigital03 shop, and I'm going to create an ad to generate a bit of traffic over onto this website. So back over on Facebook, there's a promote button here, and if I click on promote, it's going to give me certain options. So I can boost a post. So that's an existing post. You know, it may have had an organic life, and then I can boost it and try and make it reach more people. I think for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow my website traffic. So if I click on grow my website traffic. Okay, so I want to grow some website traffic here. It's telling me I need to paste a valid URL to my website. So I'm going to just copy my URL, my web address. And here then, I'll just paste it in. And it will probably go and pull some of the imagery from that website. So I can choose the format for this. Single image, I think I'll go with the carousel again, so I want to have multiple images. Okay, so I'll just paste that one. And here then I can add my imagery. I can also put a headline, which is this part here. Retro toy sale. And that should change over here. I can upload images for the first image. So if I choose upload, I can pick one of these images, choose open. Now that image is just a little bit out of shot, so I do also have the option here to edit those images because it doesn't fit into that container for the ad. So I can edit this image, and it should allow me then to move this screen. So you can see here that this is the container size, and if I hold down the left mouse button and drag it up, I can resize where that image, or I can realign where that image is going to show up. You also have the option to add filters, text, alternative text and stickers over here. You can investigate those yourself. I'll click save on that image, and it should, in a few seconds, it should update. There it goes, the image now, so it's in the screen. Okay, I can add in a little bit of text which goes in here. Again, your copy should be a lot more optimized than mine. I also have the option here to add in second images. You know, it is a carousel that we've chosen, so I can add in a second image. Again, I can upload here, and I can choose this product, open on that one, and it will add in that second product for me. And again, I can edit it. I can change the headline for that product. Now here also there's a call to action. You can see on the carousel over here there's a call to action, shop now, and if I drop down you can see the other options that are available to us. Because I want people to come across onto my website and purchase this product, I'm going to say shop now. The next section decides who it is I'm trying to target, and at the moment you can see the location: living in the United States, age 18 to 65. Now let's presume that my target audience is just within Ireland, so this audience is of no use to me. So I can create a new audience down here. If I go create new audience, I can give it a name. So I might go children of the 80s. I can target men and women. 18 is no good, so probably, starting, let's say 30. to 45. Here I can choose the location, so I'm just going to remove the United States from the location, and I'm going to add Ireland as a location. So Ireland as a country. So Ireland goes in as a country. I could also choose Northern Ireland because you see that part of the country is missing. You can also target by dropping a pin. So if I wanted, if I remove Ireland, and if I zoom in here, let's say I'm specifically targeting people in the southeast, for example, I can then drop the pin here, and I can change the radius of that pin then as well. So at the moment it's set for a radius of that, and I can increase the radius of it to a much broader area. So it allows me to target specific areas, so any Facebook users within this area will see this ad. You can also target people by demographics, interests, or behaviors. So if I choose in toys, you'll see as you fine-tune these target audiences, the size of your audience will either increase or decrease. Let's see, does that show anything? No, but it will allow you to really target. You can target people by job description. So on the flowers Facebook page, for example, I will be choosing people who are newly engaged because the market is for DIY wedding flowers. I'll target people who are newly engaged by 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. You can target friends of those people. I target wedding planners, events planners, that sort of demographics. Okay, so I'm happy then that I'm targeting all people between 30 and 45 within this area, and that have an interest in toys. So I'll save that audience. So the audience is set, children of the 80s, and there gives me an overview of it. The next section here, automatic placements recommended. Now I never really go with what Facebook recommends. If I turn off this automatic placement, you'll see that it was automatically placing this ad on Facebook and in Messenger. I just want to have this ad on a Facebook timeline, so I'll take away Messenger, and then it's only going to display in a Facebook timeline rather than in Messenger. Now I know Messenger ads will have a much higher open rate, but just for the benefit of this, I'm just showing you that you can choose where you want this ad to show and not just go with the automatic placements. The next section is the budget and the duration. So if I set a daily budget here of maybe €20, so my daily budget is €20, and here then I'm going to choose to let it run for 3 days. I found that, if you have a longer period set for these ads, the engagement tends to drop off. So what I do now is I'll go on short 3 to 5 days for ads. So this ad will run until the 24th of the 3rd, 2019. and then you'll spend €60. This ad will run for 3 days and ends then. Okay, I've also got it set up here with my Facebook Pixel, which is installed on the website. It's just a piece of code which tracks Facebook user activity when they are on my website. The currency is in euro. And then the final option here would be to click promote. And I'm not going to do that because I don't want to spend 60 quid on promoting fictional toys that are fictional product that doesn't actually exist. So it's not a case that every single ad that you create will be posted on Facebook. It goes off and it gets verified by Facebook. So there's a manual verification. They'll have a look at your ad, make sure it doesn't violate any of their terms and conditions, and then it will run. And then you'll be able to track the success or not of that ad using your Facebook Insights. So I'm just going to cancel that ad. So that's just a very, very quick run through on how to create a Facebook page and what insights are and how you can promote this website that you have by creating Facebook ads.